Hello, guys. Happy Sunday. Welcome on into today's daily messages from Spirit. However, if you're seeing this message, seeing this video on a different date and it resonates, then the message is for you. But I'm recording it on the 7th of February. So let's dive in, shall we? Whoever is resonating with this video, whoever needs to hear what Spirit's got to say, let's get it out. Okay. Firstly, the Moon card. So subconscious fears coming out a lot. In my last video, we talked a lot about the Hermit and shadow work and going through that shadow period of going within, figuring out what needs to be released in order you to move forward, in order you to upgrade your frequency. So this is kind of, I feel like, a run-on with that video. So basically, the Moon is all about fears rising up to the surface. The darkness, the shadow rising up to the surface. And these shadows rise to the surface when we do the work enough to reach another frequency. So I watched a video on Instagram the other day from Phil, I can't remember his last name, but he explained shadow work in a really cool way. So I'm kind of just reiterating what his speech was, because I totally believe in this perspective of his. So basically, we do the work of shadow, or we do the work of ascension. So becoming conscious, becoming aware of our programming, how we've been programmed, what we believe, what we, how we act, how we feel, these sorts of things. We become aware of these and we work through them. So when we ascend, we reach higher states of being through doing this work. We ascend. So through this ascension work of shedding the old, shedding the past, shedding our conditioning, we ascend. We reach different states of being, we reach different frequencies. And these different frequencies feel different to us, of course, because it's a whole new state, it's a whole new level of being. And Phil was explaining that when we reach a new state of frequency, or when we reach a new frequency, our fears come up to the surface, and our shadow comes up to the surface, because those shadows, those deeper rooted traumas and wounds from our ancestors, from the collective, from our own being, they are no longer able to live on that higher frequency. And so there's a dissonance there. And so in order to up level and fully be integrated into that new frequency, we have to shed and release that shadow, that wound, that trauma. And so that's kind of what this work is. It's shadow work. So it's releasing those fears that come up. So oftentimes we'll feel like a major upgrade in our energy, right? Like we'll just feel better about ourselves. We'll think differently about ourselves. We'll view ourselves differently. We'll have a better perspective on life. We feel good. And then we might have like a week of awesome. And then the next week we go back to that like fear-based mentality, those shadows, those wounds of unworthiness and like self-pity and whatnot, that victim mentality. And we think like, why am I going back into this low vibe? Like I'm supposed to be high vibe. I thought I was ascended. Like I thought I was on this whole new frequency. Like why am I diving back down and up and down? And our journey, our spiritual journey is not linear. So we're not just always going to go up and up and up and up and up and never dip back down, right? We have to dip back down. We have to keep going back into our shadow to keep on releasing, keep on purging these lower vibe things that no longer serve. So if you had like a really good week, I know I'm feeling this too, like have a really good few days, and then a couple other, like the next few days, I'm like feeling shit again. And then I'll be like good, and then like not so good. And then it's like, it's kind of a whirlwind, right? Because it's that non-linear path that we're taking, and it's normal. So I had a client ask me the other day, like, is this normal? Is this like dip? Like, am I supposed to feel this low? Like, why do I feel so low? Is this normal? And it's 1,000% normal. It would be unnatural for you not to feel these lows throughout this spiritual journey. So if you're feeling that like pivot and that like up and down bouncy, energetic kind of emotional turbulence, it's because you are ascending, you are growing, and you are like on a new frequency. But like I mentioned, the shadow needs to be released so you can be fully integrated and fully embedded in that new frequency. And then once we shed those current shadows, then we grow and evolve, and then we reach another frequency, and then even deeper wounds and traumas come to the surface that need to be purged. So shadow work never ends. This work of going into your soul and releasing burden and baggage never ends, but it is a sign of growth. So if you're going through this, know that you are growing and you are exactly where you need to be, and you need to purge this in order to feel lighter, to be in a more higher vibration. You need to feel that. So that's really cool. I want to get a card from my fairy deck. Just one last card to end off. Phone dropped. 7:17 on the clock. I've been seeing 7:17 like crazy. Okay, so one message from the fairies to end off. Two of Winter. So this is the Two of Swords in the typical tarot. Indecision is holding you back. Make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. Feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. So this is crazy accurate when talking about shadow work, because in this Two of Swords energy, it's like a battle between feeling good, feeling bad, feeling high vibe, feeling low vibe, feeling like you want to ascend and want to grow, and then also feeling like you can't, you're hopeless, you're powerless, your struggles and demons, they're like bringing you down. So it's like you're in that battle, right? So, and it's also like that mind battle of like, because one day you're feeling really good, really positive, very powerful, very much feeling like you're in control of your circumstances. And then the next day you can be feeling like, I'm powerless, this is shit, I'm tired of the spiritual journey, I don't want to go anymore. Like, it's that battle, right? And sometimes we get stubborn. Oftentimes we get stubborn and we just completely close off. So the Two of Swords is like this. Typically, it's a lady holding two swords. And she's like closed off. She's like, no, I'm done. I don't want anything to do with anything. Like, everything's too much work. It's too much effort. I've been putting in so much work and I'm like tired of putting in work, kind of thing. That kind of energy. And then also emotionally too. Like, one day you feel really good, really confident, very loving. The next day you're like, like I hate feeling like open and vulnerable and like, right? So it's like that wishy-washy kind of energy. And so indecision is holding you back from ascension, basically. So when we get caught up in that like indecisiveness, it's like our shadow and our soul, our higher self and our shadow. Our higher self and our shadow basically like pulling, tugging. Because your higher self's like, come on, let's go. Like, you need to ascend. But then your shadow was like, no, like, come back down with me. Like, you don't want to be high vibe. Like, it's too much work. Come on. But then your higher self's like, no, you got this. You got this. So it's like that pull between two worlds. And it's your choice that dictates the destiny that you will experience, right? So if you choose to dive, like to just completely succumb into your shadow and feel the darkness, and you don't want to grow out of that darkness, and that's the destiny you're going to experience, right? Negativity, not so niceness. But if you choose the harder path in a way, because it is a lot more effort, it's spiritual, energetic effort, mental effort, emotional effort, to choose the path of the higher self and to ascend and to grow and to evolve and to live the life of your dreams by doing that work, then you're going to live out the destiny of living the life of your dreams, right? So do not let indecision hold you back. Because if you're feeling stuck right now, it's probably because you're allowing that fear to hold you back. You're allowing that stagnation because either you feel that the next level is going to be big for you and you're fearful of success, or you're fearful of failure, or you just don't know if you can handle all of that happiness. I know for myself, intuitively, I know that once I like release, surrender, let go, and become more vulnerable and open up my heart more to the universe, I know I'm going to be receiving so much abundance. But my shadow self is fearful of that because I'm like, I don't know how to like accept, I don't know how to receive all of this love and abundance. And so it like is icky. It feels icky to me. And so that's what like I'm working through right now, like learning to like become less stubborn and open up my heart and become more vulnerable. So, but surrendering that shadow mindset, that shadow emotional state, and choosing to ascend. So, anyway, I hope this did you guys well. And I'm rooting for you. The universe is rooting for you. You got this. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment if it resonates with you. Subscribe if you like my content. And I'm also doing personal readings. So if you would like to book one of those, you can find that link in the description box below. But apart from that, I wish you guys a beautiful day. Take care.